Okay, good morning, cousins. Good morning, cousins. Check in with me. Check in with me. It's the top of the morning. Listen, I'm going to be a little bit more diligent about tracking progress today because I think it's something that needs to be seen across the board, not just per se for myself, but for fellow widowers and widows, right? Because these days, like today is my late husband's birthday. They become very sensitive days, and even though I am highly sensitive today, please do not misunderstand the level of my sensitivity. I am highly sensitive today. But in my sensitivity, there is growth. There is growth. And I was watching my video from the first birthday without him, which would have been 2024, right? So 2024, 2 years ago. And so that was the initial first birthday, his first birthday without him. And a lot of things, as I watched that video, a lot of the memories, came back tracking. It was a lot of things that happened that weekend. And so, excuse me, with no complaint, with no judgment, and without even trying to rehash old feelings, because that's not what this post is about. This is an awareness post again, and a growth post. So the last 2 years, clearly, I've been in my feelings, beyond in my feelings, with my feelings, about my feelings, and I'm still about my feelings. However, I just want to bring a different light to the feeling place of it. The biggest thing in this process of healing healthy while grieving and learning how to have grief play its part without breaking apart is being able to really sit in it. And what do I mean by sit in it? I mean, there are moments initially that's just too overwhelming to think about, right? The last kiss. In a very original part of my mind, when this process first started, that was too heavy to process. Now I can process it. Now I can tell you that one of the reasons why, if you've been following the story, there's a lot of controversy about him, his date of death, right? And so the license say one thing, I say another, and this is why. This is why, right? So the license say the 14th of April. I always say the 15th of April because that's when I was notified. So I was notified on the 15th. So for me, that is my date of death, right? And not even against the coroner's office or anything like that, but in retrospect of how I process the 14th, I saw him on the 14th, right? I saw him on the 14th. I kissed him on the 14th. I talked to him all day on the 14th. I seen him at work on the 14th. Like, it'd be a lot of different parts to the process. Needless to say, I don't want to get off into that part of the conversation. The point is simply this: growth happens when you want to grow. Forgiveness happens when you forgive. Starting with self, because a lot of times we feel like we just got to forgive everybody and we forget to forgive ourselves. We forget to forgive ourselves for what we did to ourselves, for the lies we told ourselves, for the things we allowed ourselves to get involved in, do, and or accept, for that matter. And so, again, this is just one of many posts for the day. Because again, as I was going back through my memories, I noticed I had at least 10 posts about today, which is a very good thing because it just says that I'm sitting in my feelings. I'm having an account to the feelings and the emotions. Now, transparency, cousins, transparency. I started crying last night. Well, this morning. It was like 12. I was on my phone playing my little hunter game. Pow, pow, right? Anyway, and so At about like 12, 14, I just started crying. And I didn't really know I was like, why am I crying? Why am I crying? What's going on? And I looked at the phone and I was like, oh, it's 12:15, like 12 a.m. 15. I was like, okay, it's officially his birthday. So I was starting to get overwhelmed even then. Well, it's daylight time. It's coffee time. Okay. House coat and bonnet time. It's time. But even with the timing, I want to say out loud, I still do not take this day selfishly. Like, I do not sit in a place of it's just my husband that was lost. Now, granted, he is just my husband. Okay, he was not married to nobody else. I don't want no confusion. I don't want no confusion. However, I give that space and that place with his mother and his father and his siblings and some of his favorite cousins, even his best friend, right? And he had a few of them. He had a few best friends, work best friends, childhood best friends. He was a mentor, so all of these different places and people that he affected and was effective to, I am very conscious in making sure, like, I want everybody to be able to say, how they feel. I want everybody to know that, like, it's okay to be like, man, I miss him. That's not a negative, right? Like, it does not, I heard somebody say to me the other day, like, man, I don't know how to approach it because I don't want to disrespect you. And so it's not in the place of growth, because like most people may feel disrespected, but that's a place of like a lack of growth. So with like growth and transparency, no, please tell me how you feel. Shoot me, you can inbox me. If you got my personal number, text me, don't call me because I'm not like a really big phone person unless it's business. Administrative work is a lot of phone calls, so I don't be anyway. But you can absolutely send me a text. You can absolutely put it in my DMs. You can absolutely post it on one of my, my posts on my other social media platforms. It's not an issue. Like, I want to be able to share, this day with everybody that it affects, because here's the reality. He was a very loving person. Like, he took care of the entire village. Like, his people, he took care of us all. And we all feel how we feel. We all love how we love. We was all loved how he loved us all individually. So I just want to make a PSA that, like, it's okay, even in these places of grief, and especially on a day like today, where it's for everybody. I just want to say that out loud. I have no selfish intent on how to celebrate this day. Again, I asked the question even on yesterday, like, what do I do? I have so many thoughts I want to do, but I'm like, what do I do? And so even as I was going back into watching my previous videos, I realized, like, I did do a balloon release. It was initial, and it may not have really been how I wanted to like processively do it, but it was done, right? And so obviously it's never a bad time to do a balloon release, but we won't do that today. And so I was like, hey, I stopped in I'll make another video about Shoppers World. But I just wanted to come back and just wanted to make sure, that we understand that in grief, and especially like birthdays, anniversaries, those very special days of occasions, it's okay to share the pain. It's okay to share the grief. It's okay to be there for one another. Especially if the person that we're all grieving and loved us all. Right? So this is still the progress of a widow. Okay, this is still my progress. This is still my storyline. This is still the progress of a widow. And by all means, look, support your girl. Check out the YouTube channel, The Widow's Wife Podcast. Be on the lookout for merch. Okay, we got a whole lot of stuff in the works. But I will see you a little later on today. I promise.